Good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to the 2018 Stringfest concert. Before we get started with the fifth grade, I'd like to introduce you to a representative from the Foxboro Music Association, who is just a really important part of our music program, and she's Mrs. Morrison here is going to tell you about what they do and all the great things they do to enhance our curriculum. So this is Mrs. Morrison from the FMA.
Good evening again, and welcome to Stringfest 2018. I'm Nancy Morrison, welcoming you on behalf of the Foxboro Music Association. Seeing these fifth graders up here, they're so adorable. 9 years ago, my daughter Rose sat up here. She sat right in the violin section, and today, she's a freshman at UMass Amherst, studying music education. And that's how incredible this music program is. It shapes lives. And we have the best music staff, but they can't do it alone. That's where the FMA, or the Foxboro Music Association, comes in. The FMA is made up of volunteer parents and community volunteers like you, who do their part to support enrichment activities for the students and faculty which nurture this culture of excellence while promoting music in the community. Foxboro Music Association is an independent, nonprofit organization from providing hospitality to subsidizing guest artists and original commissioned pieces to offering $4,500 in student scholarships for music camps and lessons each year. The FMA is hard at work behind the scenes supporting the vitality of this program. We do this through the generous support of many in the audience, largely through participation in our annual sponsorship campaign, which is now underway. Our campaign chairs, Catherine Newton and Michelle Walsh, invite you to stop by the table, which is out in the lobby. When you exit, you'll see them. And you can find out how you can financially contribute or volunteer to support our many activities. And we need your help. In the spirit of gratitude, we ask that you consider including the FMA among your charitable causes. We also invite you to join us on our monthly meetings, which take place at 7 p.m. on the second Monday of the month, from September through June, right here in the band room at the high school. The next meeting is March 12th, Monday night at 7 p.m. Parents of music students of all ages, as well as community members, are welcome to join. Also, check out the official FMA website, Foxboro, just an O, music.com, for more information and access to an online donation facility. Join the FMA's Facebook group and keep up to date on the latest music program happenings and volunteer opportunities. And whatever you may choose, please help us sustain this first-class music program and incredible community resource. Thank you and enjoy Stringfest.
Good evening and welcome. My name is Cami Tadoldi, and I am the orchestra director for grades 5 and 8, and also here at Foxboro High School. I'm also the K through 12 music department head for the district. I'd like to welcome you to the String Fest concert. This is a unique concert in a way because we actually get to share for you in a public way our 5 through 12 music curriculum. And you're going to see the growth that happens through all of our grades level here in Foxboro, and give you a chance to see where your students start and actually where they would end up if they continue, and we hope they do, through graduation at Foxboro High School. Our curriculum here is in alignment with the National Arts Curriculum Framework, which is a national framework, just like all of the other academic subjects have throughout the United States. So you're going to see that we just played a piece in unison like we did back in December, and we've actually graduated from that, where our students are now playing in independent parts and taking more risks and chances as students. And you're going to hear that as a theme throughout the evening. And I'm just going to let really the music speak for itself as we move through the grade levels. I think you'll really hear what we're learning and what's happening. But I'll give you a little bit of a guide as we go through the evening. So this is our 5th grade. So next you're going to hear us play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. We're going to play it all together at first in unison. Then we're going to repeat it a second time, and you're going to hear us all play in separate parts, adding harmony. So we're learning ensemble skills here at this point. It's basic ensemble skills, and you'll hear them sort of grow as we go through the evening. This is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. The last thing I have to say is this next piece that we play is actually the very first piece that we play as a string orchestra, meaning all of the parts that they play are actually written for specifically the cello, the bass, the viola, and there's also 2 violin parts, a first violin part and a second violin part. And I actually think all of our students here in the audience have played it, so hopefully this is nostalgic for them as well. But this is our very first string orchestra performance of Entry of the Tumblers. All right, so between each grade, we'll do a little bit of a transition. Students, I ask that you remain quiet and just wait for us to call you up. And while they're doing that, I'll talk to you a little bit about what's happening between each grade. So we'll get 5th grade off the stage, we'll get 6th grade on, and we'll move on. All right, we're going to welcome our 6th graders up to the stage. As they're making that transition, as I mentioned before, this concert is so wonderful because you literally get to see the curriculum in action, which we just think is just so cool. So you're going to hear in 6th grade that the music is much more independent. All students are playing their own parts. You're going to hear they're playing in different key areas, tonalities. You're also going to see that we've increased our bow skills, so we're learning how to produce different sounds on our instrument, to play more sensitively musically, and also to learn how to listen to each other in a deeper way. They also play it with in different styles, so that you're going to hear them play a waltz, and you're also going to hear them play sort of like shorter, smaller notes at the beginning of a piece called spiccato, again, which is a skill with their bow. So as they get set here, and when they're ready, Miss Greenleaf is the conductor of the 6th grade orchestra, and you'll also see her conduct the 7th grade orchestra. All right, please welcome Miss Greenleaf and the 6th grade orchestra.
Teaching piece for a new style of bowing. So you'll see lots of short bouncing bows going on here. And it also has some really cool melodies for all of the instruments in the orchestra, including the viola, the bass, the cello. So it's a cool piece called Gargoyles, and I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you, sixth grade and Miss Greenleaf from the sixth grade orchestra. All right, we're gonna let sixth grade make their transition off the stage. So while the seventh grade's coming up, I just thought I'd let you know about a couple of opportunities we have here over the summer. We actually run two really great instrumental music camps. One being the Foxboro Summer Instrumental Music Camp and Choral Camp, which was on the pink sheet on the way in, but you can also visit our website at www.simc.info. And this is a great camp for students who want to continue to play during the summer, which we encourage all of them to do. And we have some fun, so we don't play music the whole time, but they have a chance to play in a symphony orchestra, they can play in a jazz band, we do chamber groups, they can also sing if they would like to learn how to sing in a choir. So it's a great opportunity, and many of our students do choose to do that. We run the last week of June and the first 2 weeks of July, and you can do 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever you'd like. And also, if you do the booth camp, there's a bus that goes from the middle school to the booth camp at 12:15 when the camp is over. We also have a jazz improvisation camp that we run. That's during the third week of June, and that's for students who are interested in learning how to play jazz or learning how to improvise. It's open to all students, and we think that's a great opportunity as well. So we hope that you might consider joining us this summer at those camps. Registration is open now, and this year we've added a PayPal option, so you can pay right online. And if you have any questions about that, you can email any of us. All right, please welcome Miss Greenleaf and the seventh grade orchestra.
This next piece is actually going to feature our cello section. This is called a very fun, kind of Spanish-y sounding piece called Cellos Olé.
How about those cellos? And Miss Greenleaf from the 7th grade orchestra. All right, we're going to make our transition and get our 7th grade off the stage and allow our 8th graders to come on up. While they're doing that, I'm going to tell you about 2 things that are coming up that our 7th and 8th graders are doing. One is the MICA Festival, which is actually the March 23rd and 24th, which we host here in Foxboro. And it actually happens across the state. This is a state adjudicated festival. It is not a competition, it is an adjudication where we perform for a set of judges, and they're professional judges from across the country, generally college professors or high school teachers. And they come in and we play for them, and they tell us how we do based on a rubric. And the cool thing about the festival is if you do play at a very, very high level and achieve a gold medal, we would then be placed in a lottery with the potential to have a performance at Symphony Hall, so in Boston, which is a really cool thing. And we have been afforded the opportunity to perform at Symphony Hall in the past. And it's an amazing experience. And just the process of going through an adjudication and to hear other people come and hear your groups is a really great learning experience for us. So we're actually combining the 7th and 8th grade and performing together on that Saturday. So the information is actually on your program, but we perform at 10 o'clock that day. But there's groups here all weekend, all that Friday night, and also all day that Saturday. So you can come on in and actually hear other music programs from other towns and see what they're doing as well. So we're actually going to play for you 2 pieces from that MICA set. So these are 2 out of the 3 pieces that the 7th and 8th graders will perform together. And then lastly, I would encourage you to consider adding private lessons to your students. And we have many students who study privately here at Foxboro. We have a professional private string faculty, and a lot of our high school students, raise your hand over there if you teach. Look at them all. They also tutor and mentor younger students. So if your child wants an extra challenge or a little extra help on the side, let me know and I can set you up with a private teacher, and just kind of gives them that one-on-one attention, and especially if they really enjoy this. And working with our high school students is great, and they've also been wonderful this evening, so they're really running the show tonight. So here is our 8th graders, and then you'll get to hear the high school next. Thank you. Our next two groups performing for you are two of three string orchestra or string groups that we offer here at Foxboro High School. The first group you're going to hear is our chamber orchestra. They're making their way out now. And they are an auditioned group, and mostly older students. And this is actually our touring ensemble. So ourselves, along with the wind ensemble, and some of our choir members are traveling to Washington, D.C. in April, where we'll do a music tour, along with another adjudication and festival, visit some other schools, and do some sightseeing in Washington, D.C. This group plays high-level music at a sort of a college level. So this is an advanced ensemble. So I think you'll hear. And this piece actually is in two movements, so we have two movements for you. So lastly, we're going to welcome the rest of our students out. This is our full string orchestra. So this is anybody who is registered in grades 9 through 12 for our orchestra course. And the third ensemble that you don't see here that we do have is a symphony orchestra, which actually combines our winds and our brass players. And it's very unique to Foxboro. Not many towns actually across the country have a symphony orchestra program, so we are really excited that we are able to collaborate. We also do collaborative works in the fall with our choir and strings. This year we actually did the Foray Requiem, which is one of the most famous works for choir and strings. So we have a lot of opportunities here that are really exciting and very fulfilling musically for these students. And like Mrs. Morrison said, a lot of this is done in support with the Foxboro Music Association. We have guest artists come in. Last year, we actually commissioned a new work. A commission is something where we actually pay a composer to write a piece for us. So it's kind of like paying an author to write a book for you. So we think it's really cool that we have an organization that supports putting new art into the world. So, and our students got to be a part of that process, which is really, really special and unique if you really think about it. So first of all, I just want to give a big round of applause to these students on the stage tonight because they've really run the show tonight. And before you hear them play, I actually would like to just sort of introduce them to you, because a lot of people think that when you play in the music program at Foxboro High School, that's like all you do. And that's not true actually at all. So we just want to tell you a little bit about them, and I'm just going to ask them a few questions. They're going to raise your hand and you'll quickly see what they do. So if you're in 9th grade, can you raise your hand? 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. And I just have to give a little special shout out to these 12th graders because they're actually my first students that I had when I came to Foxboro. So it's a special moment to see them here up on stage tonight. Not that, you know, I love all of you, but they have a special place in my heart being my first ones. They've you know, they made it, so I didn't mess them up too much. So how many of you take honors or AP level courses? Okay. Any of you National Honor Society members? Great. So they, you know, strong academics generally has a correlation with music participation. So how about musically? Let's talk about them as musicians. How many of you study privately? Great. How many of you teach private lessons yourself? Great. How many of you perform in another music group, either here or outside of school? So a choir, jazz ensemble, jazz choir, a youth group, that kind of thing. All right. And how many of you actually intend to major in music as a career? All right, so as you see, that's actually very normal to have maybe 1 or 2 students who graduate through the years go on to major in music, but we're not training professional musicians here. We're training students to love and be creative about the arts and finding that opportunity in school to have that moment to be creative and to love music and just find a place. So this is that place for them, and we're really excited we can offer that here in Foxboro. How many of you participated in the district festival this year? Awesome. And we actually had 2 8th graders, David and where is Juliana, who made the district orchestra this year, which is an auditioned group where you actually audition and compete against all the students in grades 7 through 9 or 10 through 12 in either the junior and senior division, and if you score a certain if you get a certain score, you get accepted into the festival. So huge congratulations to all of them for doing that. And then lastly, they also do extracurricular things. So outside of music and your academics. How many of you are athletes? All right. How many of you play more than one sport? Cool. So we have track team, tennis, swimming, football, lacrosse, volleyball. What else? Karate. We've got soccer, baseball, hockey. We have every field hockey. We have people from all over the place, and they're all playing sports and doing music and doing a fine job at all of those things. How many of you are in a club or an extracurricular activity? Awesome. Any of you volunteer? Cool. And any of you hold a job, making some money? Great. And how many of you intend to go to college someday? All right, thank you. So this is Foxboro High School String Orchestra. We will also be participating in the Micah Festival that I mentioned to you earlier, and we're going to play one of the pieces that we'll do at that festival, and alongside that the Symphony Orchestra will also play at the Micah Festival. So this is the Capriole Suite, and it's actually in 4 movements. So we just ask that you hold your applause between movements. Thank you so much. Okay, get us a second. We're gonna get everybody up on the stage here, and we're gonna do our grand finale and get all of these students. Hang on, don't move, students. Sit. I will call you up when it is your turn. But can I get all the basses and cellos to come on up on stage, please? Basses and cellos. All right, let's get 8th grade viola and violins on up. 7th grade violas and violins. 6th grade, come on up. Guys, this way. 6th grade, this way. This way. This way. All right, 5th grade, come on up. We did it. That's all of them. So this is the entire grades 5 through 12 Foxboro String Orchestra program, and it is alive and well here in Foxboro, and we are so excited about that. So here they are. Welcome. I also just want to give another thank you to, or a thank you to the entire Foxboro music staff, and you also saw Mr. Glynn this evening as well, working alongside myself and Miss Greenleaf. And we're just so lucky here in Foxboro to have such wonderful and talented music staff, and it's just a wonderful place to be and a great place for our students. So we hope you can encourage them to continue to play because having music in your life is really, really special and something that you can have with you forever and ever and ever. So please enjoy Can, the 2018 Foxboro String Orchestra. Thank you all so much. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you very much. All right, let's let fifth graders come off the stage first. Fifth grade off the stage first. Sit. Fifth grade off the stage first.